The duck is back. The duck is back. And hopefully I'm not doing a head chop. As you can see, bit of a nightmare going on. I've had a shave and tidied up my act. Had a bit of a all over prune. Yeah, I've been flat out. You will be wondering what the hell's going on. Where's the duck? I think a couple of long weekends ago I had some tenants of mine ring up and tell me that they had a water leak in the house, so had to go and disconnect the shower and plug that off so they could carry on using the rest of the house, and then spent the next 2 weeks fixing the shower and the dodgy plumbing. Not dodgy plumbing, it was low pressure water, which the house had been converted to high pressure, and it was the last bit of low pressure pipe in the wall what blew. And then, you know, I don't know what it's like in your country, but here in New Zealand, trying to get a plumber to drop tools on a short week to come and do your plumbing, well, you could probably do that, but then trying to get a builder to take the lining off and fix the shower and fix the wall up to my standards, who's not going to charge, you know, $100 plus GST an hour, is getting bloody hard, to say the least. So I chose to do it myself, and if I hadn't, basically the tenants probably still would have no shower. But anyway, so today I've got a few things to talk to you today about, but the first thing is brakes, brake calipers and brakes. And you should be able to see this. So here you can see I've pulled this 2000, I think it's a 2001 rear brake caliper apart. I'd already done a video of the front one, which had piles of crap down in here, had big chunks of crap down in there, and then I wasn't happy about the video, and then I deleted it. So, but the point being here is that this bike is what, 2001. It's a Sportster, done what, about 70, I think it was 70 something thousand KMS, and it had been sitting in storage, so we're putting it back on the road again. So we decided to, the guy wanting me to sign off on the brake to get it recerted, so I pulled them apart and had a look, and they needed to be serviced because it's it's 2006 now, so it's it's over 20 years. It's over 20 years old anyway. And 20 years old, like I've said to you, you would need to service your brakes if they haven't. So, done the front one, that was alright, re-kitted it, cleaned it out. And then when I came to the back one, I noticed something on here. This is a brake pod. Say again, brake pot, right? Obviously, because it looks like a little pot. And then if you have a look here, I don't know if I can, I don't know if you can see that, but on here, you can see the machining lines. And when it was getting made, you can see that these little lines, grooves along here, right? And they shouldn't be there. What it should look like, it should be a polished glass-like finish. See? And the one on the right, you can see the difference. Okay. Now, this is a manufacturer's fault. We come out of the factory like this, and the more and more we get into the robot world, the more and more things are like. So you can't have these lines on here, right? And the reason is you've got 4 pistons. You see this caliper, this caliper goes together like this, you see? So you've got 2 on this side and 2 on this side, right? And they're pushing in together like this, right? So the critical thing, let's just pull that up a bit. So the critical thing is they're pushing in. Now, what you got to remember with hydraulics, I done my trade on hydraulics, right? So, and people get confused what hydraulics are, but what they are is anything to do with oil that works some other system, right, through a pipe. And I had this the other day when I was getting a brake line made the other day, and I rang up the lady and I says, "Oh, you guys might make hydraulic brake lines, don't you?" And she's like, "No." So brakes on motorcycles are hydraulics. It's another type of hydraulics, and what they rely on is even pressure everywhere, right? So if you've got 2 pistons pushing in from this side and 2 pistons pushing in from this side, the seals and the resistance on those pistons have to be the same. They cannot have one pot like this with grooves on it, because what that does is it creates more resistance on that pot. And instead of them all coming out together nice and evenly, right, you'll get one what's sticking. And that one, there was 2 of them in this caliper. This one and another one, which it's just the tip of the machine must have just been starting to go off and they didn't notice. So then you have 2 pots, depending on the position of them in that caliper, will determine the wear of those brakes, because that piston doesn't want to come out. Do you see what I'm saying? And it gets stuck in there. And with hydraulic pistons and brake pots, you always have the other. If it's easier for the other 3 to work, they will work and they will leave that one behind. It's not until it gets too excessive it might move, but by then your brake pads have already worn unevenly. So if you're getting uneven wear on your brake pads right? This is another reason what could be causing it. One reason, air. Another reason, like I just shown, this is more technical and it doesn't get found because there's a real reluctance for motorbike shops and garages to pull these things apart, right? So I can't stipulate how important it is. The other thing what will happen is it can cause quite hard braking. You push on the pedal and it feels hard and nothing really happens. And then it can also cause, in some cases, the calipers to stop releasing as well as much. So this so waffling on. Mr. Harley Davidson parts couldn't supply just one or two. You had to buy 4, so we bought 4, which is not a bad thing. Yeah, and back together and it'll be running sweet. The main thing that I wanted to emphasize here is I believe this has come out of the factory like this. This looks like an original factory part and it's come out of the factory like that. And as we get into this more robot world where we have got less humans checking what's actually good and what's bad, you'll find that this is, they might have pumped 100 of these things out with these grooves. They might have pumped 1,000 of these things out with these grooves. And on the kit, it was saying on the kit that I got here, and I've thrown it away. It said, I think it was from I can't remember now, but this bike is 2001 and I think it finished at 2007. So there's an indication there. If your bike is in that run, you could very well have these bad brake pots in the back of your bike or in the front. So worth a check. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about was, here's the brother. Yes, brother.
I thought you were talking on. Oh, you're doing it.
Yeah, mate, it's all right. Where we was up to. Anyway, my train of thought's gone a bit now, but anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is little inventions, and one invention I came up with a while back. Well, I'll tell you about these things. Is every once in a while I want to drill a small hole, okay? And if you've got a little drill like this, right? It's a tiny little drill, and you think, oh, I'll put it in the drill, but then this drill is done right up. But look, it won't grab that little drill. And then once, years ago, I realised I had this old battery drill, and I realised that the chuck in that had a closer jaw, see? Because it won't go in, and it would actually grab the little drill, see? And this is the one that I use in the lathe, right? And it's just, what I'm trying to pass to you is you can see here, right, where I cut it out of the old battery drill, right? And how I do it is quickly. So this one is too big, right? So I back that one off and I put this one in there, yeah? Hey, isn't that a cunning trick? And then, right, that will take the little drill. Hey, isn't that a cunning plan, right? And I also do this. I also do this on the lathe, because on the lathe and the drill press when you're getting down. So it's only interesting for the guys what do this sort of work. Don't throw your old battery drills away, and if you do, chop the chuck off them, because it's very, very handy. Anyway, I'll endeavour to do some more videos. Not been in the mood lately, but anyway, that's just the way it goes. And yeah, anyway, waffling on. Have a good one. I'm having a good one. Hope you guys and girls are too. Later.